Greetings guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Fonette and this is my channel Evolve with Fonette. For those of you that are new here, I am a professional intuitive empath. But in case you can't get one or get to one, then I am going to be working with you from the Cook's Tarot today, teaching you a little tarot to go. Let's say you have a question. You are the querent with a query. You want to know something. I'd suggest that you pick 3 out of the videos in this series of the Tarot to Go and answer your question yourself. Teach yourself how to read, stretch your intuition. And today we're going to talk about the Strength card from the perspective of the Cook's Tarot. I was gravitated to this card because I was a chef and a caterer. Went to culinary school and all that jazz. And I really love the illustrations here and I thought that they were fantastic. And my angel said, if you teach them, they will learn, and that's what I like to do, is educate. So here we are. Let's take a turn around the Strength card together. So this is the Strength card, and it's one of my favorite cards in the deck because I am a Leo sun sign. So this card is literally representative of Leo. Now, my understanding of this card when I initially learned tarot years ago was that it was the taming of our ego and inner beast. So we'll see how much is replicated. I have not read through. As I'm reading this with you, I'm reading it together with you for the first time. When I say we evolve together here, that's literally what we do. I know how to read. I use my intuition, and you will too if you start reading cards, definitely, because every deck comes with a book, and we're not sitting there reading the meanings as we're doing a reading. You just cannot do that. You've got to be quick and move, and especially the way that I was kind of like honed in the fire through some freelancing for some of the sites that I did. So what I will tell you about this is that it's about taming the ego or the beast. Sometimes I see it when it's in a dating situation where a woman has the ability to tame the beast, because in the natural depiction or the original depiction on the Rider-Waite, which is a more classical tarot deck, there is a woman who is beguiling. She's literally sitting on top of a lion, and she almost has hit her hand in his mouth. Now, normally that would be a dangerous situation to be in, but because of her charm and her Venusian energy and her quiet strength and power, that animal is not reacting to her in a violent way, but is almost like beguiled by her and lulled into a more sedative state by her feminine energy. It's very powerful feminine energy. It's charm, really. But also, when you see this card, it means you might be being imbued with strength in a situation, giving the strength to understand. So let's get into the meaning here. It also deals with abundance and prosperity. It also deals with the 8th month of the year, which is August as well. And its zodiac affinity is Leo, as I said. There's a steaming bowl of soup in this picture. A smiling woman is dressed in a pattern. Let's see if I can hold it up and read it at the same time. A smiling woman is dressed in a pattern of stars and moons and is creating a lasso from the spirals of steam. It forms a loosely shaped or infinity symbol as it wraps around that figure 8. That figure 8 is the infinity symbol as it wraps around the beast, drawing it closer. The beast already has the body of a man and is in a position of submission as he holds onto the back of the chair. In the background, a domestic cat is eating from a similar looking bowl. The key elements here, fascinating. The key elements here in the Strength card are associated with Leo the lion, the king of the jungle, has become a metaphor for describing the id part of the mind and ego. The beast is with us all and within us all, and it addresses our basic primal carnal desires. The beast roars, demanding to be fed. It wants more, more, more. The lion feeding is associated with the human propensity towards excess. The lion is synonymous with the discipline and control, the lordly aspects of the king of the jungle. The figure 8 infinity symbol, turned on its side, is representing the endless eternal nature of energy. The steam from the bowl of soup is loosely suggestive of this, as the mental process is still being resolved. In tarot, the sight of the figure 8 tells us that we respond, or that infinity sign, how we respond to the present situation will have a significant repercussion on the future. Energy does not change. In this card, the unformed infinity sign indicates more of an internal struggle that is constantly shifting and changing. The soup. Beethoven wrote in a letter, "Only the pure in heart can make a good soup," and we all know that music soothes a savage beast. It is symbolic for succeeding through kindness instead of brutality. So remember what I said about that woman beguiling the energy of the lion. Very much that. Let's talk about the card meaning. The Strength card is the archetype for exerting control over baser human instincts. By using mental rather than physical force, it appeals to our higher senses. The woman is succeeding in taming the beast, meaning that success is possible if one meets challenges head on, responding with understanding and compassion rather than hostility and aggression. This card speaks to internal rather than physical struggles. The issues are very real. However, they tend to gravitate towards the subjects of addiction and excess. They may be related to bodily pleasure such as food, drugs, or sex, or tend towards mental excesses of avarice and greed. When you draw this card in a reading, it is a sign that there is a need to address a struggle. Like the smiling sorceress in the card, it will take the magic of personality to gain control of the situation. There is a constant balancing act of self-destruction and preservation. The shadow side of the card is when we become a bit self-righteous in our purity of thought. We need to be part of humanity, warts and all. The kitchen wisdom is the house cat and the lion are all part of the same family. Very much id and ego, and very much the primal side versus the domesticated side. The wild beast versus the domesticated cat. Both killer instincts, both reflexes that are lightning speed, both 9 lives, both able to avoid. The thing about cats is they come to you when they want to. So when you pull this card, that's the thing about tarot, and that's why it's so rich, because when you pull this card, you may not be dealing with a situation where someone is coming to you in the way that you might want, or you may not want to go to someone. You may be making a choice and waiting and judging the character. What do we say about cats, right? Or there may be a primal addictive nature that's happening. So when I see this come up when I'm reading for people that are in new love, I'm like, what's going on here? Because we have a tendency to lean into codependency, empaths, right? So if this comes up, then your angels are saying like, tame that, and start to regain interdependence and start to understand that you two are separate human beings. So that could be an answer for someone here that's asking that question. If it comes up and you're dealing with a brutal, tyrannical boss at your job, and it is taking everything you have to withhold yourself and not cuss them out and lose that job, the Strength card may come up. If you are needing to take control of your finances and you've been doing a little retail therapy, the Strength card may come up. So there is a never-ending source of questions. If you are wanting to get more in touch with your spirituality, that figure 8 may be what your eye is drawn to on the card, and such is the magic of tarot. There is no absolute science of it because it's all guided by our intuition and what just feels right to us. So that is my job as a reader, to discern what your angels want you to know specifically, and that's why we go to professionals. I have readers too and astrologers that I deal with every year, okay, to make sure I'm clear as to what's coming up for me for the year, but I'm not dependent on it. And also, I'll tell you something, I don't pull cards every single time I have a question. My intuition and learning how to read for myself within myself is how I balance my addictive dependency on something versus my own intuition. I've been gifted an intuition as you have as well. And so we don't want to get dependent on just what does a card say or what does a reader say, because we are human and we are prone to being the beast or being the domesticated cat. And so what your angels want you to understand, your ancestors, your spirit team, however you ascribe them, they want you to know how to listen to what you just hear in your gut. When I'm in a relationship with someone, it is very rare that I'll pull cards on them, because one thing I will tell you is we do not have all the answers, and we have to go through relationships, any psychic, any reader, just like you. If I'm guided to pull cards, I had something happen in this year in a soulmate connection, and just one time in that whole year, was I guided to pull cards. And in that time, I got a very strong message. I didn't love the message, but it prepared me. And by the end of that day, the message that I got was confirmed out of my soulmate's mouth. So what I want you to understand is that pay attention, but don't use it. Don't be addicted to it, because I wanted our connection to unfold naturally, but they were preparing me for something that I may have perceived as unsavory, or that, you know, your angels love you that much that they'll be like, hey, hold up, wait, heads up. You need to pay attention to this so that you're not caught off guard. They didn't want me to be blindsided. And so I was uneasy, and I pulled, and I was validated by the end of the night by their own words and communication. And that was so, I felt so loved, you know, not necessarily, and everything was fine after that, but I felt prepared to understand what I was going to deal with so that I didn't overreact. That's why I was guided. That's why I'm saying tarot is so very interesting. They literally guided me to do the thing that I've kind of made as a personal rule, to not be just pulling cards on my spouse, on my soulmates, on my twin flames. I just didn't do it. I trusted my gut. But in that case, I would have overreacted and been triggered beyond. And instead, I was like, the prophecy is fulfilled. Sometimes it be like that. So that's the magic of tarot, is that, and that's the magic of listening to your actual intuition and not just using it as a crutch. It helped me to offset my primal nature, to be really territorial, and to be really like all the things that me literally as a Leo lion sun sign can be. I don't apologize for my territorialism or my primalism. I love that part of me now, but I did used to suppress that. But in this case, they said, there's a reason we want you to manage this just like this, with balance. That's literally what the figure 8 sign of infinity is bring this into balance, because it's not as bad as you think, and it's not as good as you think. It is just information and intel, so that you know that we're always going to have your back and communicate with you. Anyway, so good sharing energy with you guys today. Come back and join me next time on Tarot to Go. If you're interested in doing a reading for yourself, or you just want to grow, pick no more than 3 and you will know what you need to know. You clarify with each. So if you have a question, the first thing that comes up, the first card you pick, or the first video you watch, will be the bulk of the question. The next 2 videos you watch will give you more information. So it will fill out the paragraph. So let's say you asked, should I go to the store? Let's say you pull the Chariot. The answer would be yes, you should go to the store. Let's say the next card you clarify it with is the Justice card. When you go to the store, make sure that you're kind and fair to people. Talk to the cashier nicely. That's Libra energy of partnership and balance. Make sure that you don't swoop into the parking spot ahead of somebody. Be fair, okay? Maybe pay it forward even at the cash register is what the advice of the Justice card would be. Maybe you like pay the change on some elderly ladies, whatever, right? And then maybe if you pull the 4th card, and the 4th card was the Ace of Cups, you might meet someone that might flirt with you, or they're saying offer a word of love to the cashier that checked you out, meaning like, you really look nice today, or thank you so much, I was having a bad day and your smile lit me up. That could be the simple answer. It's not always these deep esoteric questions. It could be as simple as that. Yes, you need to go to the store. If you're feeling like, sometimes I've had a client call and say that to me, and they're like, oh, I've been depressed, I don't want to get out of my house. So we could just pull that, and they might want to ask me that. I've had people call and ask me what outfit they should wear to the club, okay? And I thought, well, that's an interesting question. And then later we find out they meet the next person that they're going to date for the foreseeable future. I thought nothing of it. I thought, did you need to ask me that? But they did, because they wanted that direction. And all of those answers, from what you should wear to the club, to should you go to the grocery store, to should you leave this man or woman, this job, should you take it, should you move across the country, how do you care for your elderly parents? That's the magic of tarot. It's this expansive tool that is visual, that helps stimulate your intuition and help you remember what you've always and already known. Anyway, so good having you here sharing energy with me. Come back and join me next time, guys, and we'll continue to do our Tarot to Go and to evolve together.